Hi, this is Nev again, and in this third database video I'm going to talk a little bit about data types. But just before that I'm going to talk a bit about file management. Now I'm going to go copy, paste, and I'll end up with copy 2 of this database. Later we'll do some compression and we'll notice the difference in the file sizes. These dates were last night when I made the videos. When I open a video it'll change its date. Now probably a better way to file these. This was the first one that I created without any links, so I'm going to put that as 16:10:22. Just pretend we did it the day before. And this one was yesterday, 16:10:23, and this one is going to be my latest, which will be 16:10:24. If I'm doing a couple on the same day, I'll make them different versions, so I've got spaces in here, so we'll keep those just consistent. Alright, I'm going to open my 24 one and we'll do a little bit of work on it. Now, one thing I will do is just compress the database before I start. Let's compact and repair the database, and you will notice that this database has gone from the last one, 860 kilobytes down to 516, so considerably smaller. Notice also that whenever I open a database there is a locking file here, and that's so that if there are two people in the same database trying to change the same record, in fact the same field of the same record at the same time, there's not a data clash. So quite a few people can be in a database at the same time. I tend to not put spaces in my names because if we are up on the net, the web references become complicated with percentage signs whenever you've got spaces. Alright, let's get going. We're going to talk about data types today, and the first table I'm going to look at is table calls. Now we can see here that we've got a date here. I'll just go big for a minute. We've got a date column here and we've got another date column here. In this date column, my last two in Excel had a different format. I wonder if they actually did import as a date field, because right now if we go in and have a look at table calls, well, I can either view the design view from here or I can view the design view from here. Now when we look at date logged, it's short text, 255 characters. Now we are going to change this to a date time field. It's a much better format. Let's reopen and look at it, and we must save the table first. And sure enough, it has recognized these two dates that we put in just the other day as proper dates. So it's pretty clever like that. Now, and they can be formatted in a number of different ways. I might just go back and we'll have a look at a quick format now. Date, time, and format, and I could look at the date and time, see if that works, and save it. And I beg your pardon, it hasn't recorded the time, but it will. If we wanted to put a time in there, we certainly could. Alright, I'll leave that one there. Well, while we're at it, we probably should change our other date column. You can do that ahead of me if you want to. Let's just go in and see. It was date closed. It's already gone in as a date time. Okay, so that's fantastic. Now, one of the reasons for creating these table backups is that I can still see, had I had problems with my dates then, I can go back and see my original data in those databases. Okay, now we need a little bit of theory here about what data types are, and we have about 6 main data types. Boolean is just a yes no. Let's just have a look here. I'm going to look at open closed status. Now if I wanted to, I could make this a yes no field, which would be a Boolean field type. Text. Now if we are text, we can say how many characters am I likely to have in my text field. Now this is first name. Do you think there would be a first name bigger than 50 characters? Probably not. So that will save, if I've got 1,000,000 records and I'm using 255 bytes, or 5 times as much, so this will reduce the field size of that field by 1/5. Surname also 50 characters. And let's go down and have a look at company. I think 50 characters will cover that as well. Let's look at now. You can't change the data type or field size of this field because it's part of one or more relationships. So let's leave that one. What we could do is take our relationship out that we did last video, change the field size, but in both tables, in table calls and table company, the field size would need to be the same. So we'll leave that one. We've got status. Status is either open or closed, so really that can be 10 characters. Again, alright, we've got that as a link, so we may fix that up later. Priority, let's get that one done now before we create a table link for that, and we'll make that just 10 characters. It's low, medium, high, neither of those are more than 10. Our location, probably 30 characters. And problem description. Now this could well be more than 255 characters. So what we could do here is make this a long text, and that will allow us to put long descriptions in. Problem type, that also is short, and we can do a lookup for that. I think 50 characters would be fine for that. Assigned to, that's somebody's name, 50 characters would be enough for that. Date time is done, and resolution is yes or no. Resolution is a description, actually, I think. We'll check it, but I think that probably should be a long text. We have no numbers in this table, so I might just create one. Well, actually, we've got the call number, which at the very beginning of the video when we imported, we changed to a long integer, which means that it could be a number. So we've got several types of number, where we've got integers, which have to be between minus and plus 2 billion. Now what's this? Millions, billions. And we have long integers, which goodness knows what that number is. It looks like it's 18 digits times 10 to the 18, plus or minus, so it's a huge number, and it's the standard access auto number and linking number format. Alright, let's keep going. Resolution. Alright, I could add another number field. I might just add a field here for cost. And if I've got a money, I'm going to have decimal places. So let's see what field types we've got for decimal places. So I can have currency. I could have what we call, if I were to call it a number, I could have integers, single decimal points. Now the sizes of single integers are here. They are usually 4 bytes, and a double is 8 bytes for each record. Now a long integer is 8 bytes as well. So the detail of the various data types is here. It's only important when you've got thousands or millions of records. Okay, we'll make this a currency because it's going to be money, and that will just be 2 decimal places. Okay, and we can add a cost for everything. So let's view this, and yes, we will lose some data potentially, and here we go. I'll just make that large. If I were to put in a value here, $45.27, then it comes up as a money amount. That last field resolution was a comment, so we need that as a long field. I might just say we've made this 10 characters. So if I were to keep typing here, I would get to a limit of 10 characters and not be able to enter any more characters. So that's an advantage. Here we're going to bolt this field down to a low, medium, high anyway, so there's no way we want more than 10. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the data types which are in Access. I'll leave it to you to go into sort out the data types for your company table. Now let's just look at the number here. It has automatically put the postcode in as a double. Now that's an 8-bit decimal number. Postcodes are never going to be decimals, so we might just make this a small integer, because postcode in Australia is only 4 digits, in the US 5 digits I think. So a small integer is between -2 billion and +2 billion. I think that's 10 digits. Certainly going to be big enough for us, and only 4 bytes. So that saves a little bit of space. I will leave now phone numbers. We will generally leave as text rather than numbers. It's a bit confusing as to why, but that's probably left as 15. Now the average phone number is 10 digits, but just to be sure, I'm going to make that a 15-digit text field. And the rest is similar to what we did in the last video, so I'll leave that to you. Save, and let's look at the table. Yes, we might lose data because we've shortened a field, and there it is. Now this is hard-coded. If I had tried to make that phone number a text field, sorry, a numeric field, it would not have let me because the brackets are not numbers. Okay, numeric fields must be just straight numbers, millions, billions, etc. Okay, thank you.